Live. So Jean-Philippe and I, we are here for the podcast, and as you know, we are working on that book, the Super Communicator. So it's a great book, and
Sorry, there's somebody getting at home, so it's my alarm system.
so funny. So today we are going to continue with that book, and of course, we are at the near the end of the book. So we are going to talk about the who we are conversation. So who are we conversation. So as you know, we spend so many weeks exploring this topic. So we talk about social identity. We talk about identity threat. We talk about guidelines. We talk about stories of Netflix, the gun control, soccer, vaccine. So a lot of storytelling in that book. And now we are going to talk about more practical guide. So a roadmap for having difficult conversation that it's going to bring your people closer instead of pushing them apart. So it's not just theory, it's going to be more concrete, and you are going to have you so you can take notes because you are going to have the good question you can ask before um, you have meeting, and what you are going to do during the meeting, and the traps that you should avoid. So, and as always, we're going to apply this on the MLM reality.
Okay, so let's just like remind ourselves why the who are we conversation is a difficult one and why it is such an important one. Okay, because actually they threaten our sense of identity. So let me just give you an example. So you need to give like performance feedback to one of your consultants. Okay, so you tell that consultant, okay, you need to do more live, you need to demonstrate more the products. Okay, so you're talking about an action that she should be doing more. Okay, but actually on her side what she hears is you're not competent enough. Okay, you're not good at that job. Okay, you're not like doing what you should do. Okay, so really important to like place yourself on what that person could hear. Or another example, okay, you ask one of your boss for a raise, okay, and like what your boss here is you're unfair, you don't care about me. Okay, or you ask your partner to change something about them, okay, and what they hear is I'm not right for me. So those conversations can threaten someone's sense of identity. So how do we do that? How do we have those conversations without actually threading those identity? There's one rule, okay? So those rule, okay, is what we call the learning conversation. You need to explore whether identity are important in the discussion that you are having. Okay, are there some identity that take place? And to apply that rule, okay, there are three key moments that you need to reflect, okay, when you have those type of conversation. So it's the before the conversation, at the start of the discussion, and during the discussion. Okay, so we are going through them one by one. So I'm gonna let Sylvain start with what should we do before we have those conversations to reflect on the who we are conversation.
Yes, so that the book show us that there are five questions that you can ask, and how you can prepare before having those discussions. So, of course, before opening your mouth, you have to think, and you have to make sure that you are going to ask the right thing. Okay, so um, first of all, the first question: what do I hope to accomplish? So I am in a meeting. Okay, I'm going to meet that girl, and what do I want to say? Okay, so what do I want to learn? And of course, this is going to make sure that you're going to think about your questions, and you're gonna make sure that you are well prepared. Okay, so if I want to learn what is her goal or what's happening in her family, so I have to have my plan in ed. So what do other wants to say and learn? So I want to make sure that what she wants to say and what I'm going to say. In our MLM, before a difficult conversation with a consultant, I always ask myself, do I want her to change her behavior? Okay, maybe I want her to feel supported. Okay, so it's going to depend, of course, of what is my goal. So if I just want her to change her behavior, I risk making her defensive. Okay, so she's going to feel threatened, and she's going to, you know, be like her. So if I want her to feel support, so my approach of the conversation, of course, is going to be different. My question will be different. Number two, how will this conversation start? Okay, so um, if I want to make sure that she feel comfortable, so we have to have everyone. We have to have her own voice. Okay, so I want her to feel included in that conversation. Okay, it's not like a boss talking to our employee. Okay, so we are two colleagues. I am, let's say, a mentor with the mentoree. Yeah, so I want her to feel good. Okay, so I don't start with okay, we need to take to watch your number and talk about your numbers. So of course she's gonna be defensive. Okay, I'm going to start like, okay, how are you feeling right now about your business? So I open the question. It's a deep question. It's not an accusation, and now can take, she can talk about the she is happy with her, the recruitment, but she's not happy with her numbers in sales, or she's not so it's opening the conversation, and that way I can support her. Or if I want to teach her something, so she said, okay, I need help with my sales, so that way I am able to help her and give ask permission to give advice. Number three, what obstacle might arise? Okay, so I have to think about the climate of the meeting. Okay, will that people get angry? Okay, is go if my question is put her in defensive, maybe she's going to shut down. Okay, they want to avoid the difficult topic, so we have to think about what might happen during that meeting. Okay, and if I anticipate that she's get defensive, so I can prepare myself to use the looping. Okay, to take what she said, rephrase it, and ask for confirmation. So this is how you can, when you are well prepared, it's going to be a better meeting.
Yes. And actually, you ask yourself that question, what obstacle might arise? But you also need to get to that second part, which is when these obstacles arise. Okay, if they arise, obviously, what's the plan? Okay, so it's important about like the plan to look at the worst case scenario, but also like the best case scenario. And research have shown that when you anticipate, like let's say anxiety, anger, or all of those things, you can handle it better. Okay, so ask yourself, okay, how will I calm myself down if like we get to an angry part, or like a part where there is a lot of emotion? Okay, and how will I calm the other person down if it happens? Okay, so it's always about, okay, oh, my plan is if she get defensive, I'll say this. I can see this topic is making you uncomfortable. Okay, we can take a pause if you want. So really, like sometimes just have key phrases that you can say like in your mind, or just having those prepare, okay, in that preparation sheet that you have done just before, that will actually help you. But don't just look at the worst case scenario. Also, like try to look at what could be the best case scenario. And question number 5, what are the benefits of this conversation? Okay, here it's yes about what is the final thing that you want to get out of this conversation, but is the Is it worth the risk? Okay. And most of the times, the answer will always be yes, because you know that when you're able to have those difficult conversation and reflect on what should be said on like a certain topic, the conversation can make that person say, oh, finally, yes, I am a talented consultant, I will stay. It will strengthen their trust in the team, or even like build the confidence in themselves. It will like help them grow. So yes, it's worth it. It's worth like for them, because actually they will feel that they have a voice into your team and with you. But it will be good like for the team, so obviously it will be good for you, because you are like strengthen the relationship that you are building. So those are 5 questions that you can just take 5 minutes before a meeting, but it can actually change everything. So now let's jump on. You start the conversation. What can you do?
Yes, so we are going to talk about three steps that you can, you already prepare your conversation. So three things that you can do at the beginning of the conversation. So number one, step one, establish guidelines. So we talk about guideline in our last episode. So we have to remind everyone what is the rule, okay, of that conversation. Okay, so the goal is, let's say, to understand each other, not to convince each other. Okay, um, the rule is, I don't want to blame someone. Okay, so I don't want to that she feels shame. I don't want to attack anyone. Okay, so we have to make sure that we establish the rule. Okay, you know the rule, I know the rule. We talk about our experience. Okay, we're not going to talk about generalization. Okay, so before a difficult meeting in our MLM, so I say, let's say I have a difficult conversation. My goal is, I want to move forward about this, but of course we have to talk about that topics. Okay. I don't want to judge you. I don't want you to judge me. I just want to be transparent and tell you how I feel. And I want to know how you feel about this issue. So that way, when you establish guidelines, so that, you're not going to have the blame. You're not going to feel attacked because you tell them at the beginning. So this is a great way to establish a good climate, and that way you can have that discussion. Step number two, so bring out everyone's goals. So let's say, okay, I want to share my goals, and I want to make sure that I know what is our goals. So I'm gonna share my goals. Then I ask other, what do you hope to get out of this conversation? Okay, maybe she wants to vent, she wants to ventilate, she wants to talk about how she feels. Okay, so I'm going to say, okay, what is your goals? I Of course I want to we want to stay friends. Okay, so make sure that you can share with me what on your mind. So that way, I establish my goal. Okay, I want to pursue that friendship. Okay, so it's important. So I tell my goal. Maybe it's something more practical. Okay, practical. My goal is, I want us to make a plan. Okay, for the next month or for the next year. And maybe it's a group goal, so I want us to make sure that we are going to achieve it. Okay, I want us to show compassion for everyone. Okay, so in our MLM, I'd like us to find a solution together, so you feel more comfortable with your life, and I want to support you. So what would you like? So I open that conversation in that way, and I make sure that I understand our goal and I share my own goal.
And step number three, it's about acknowledging that discomfort is normal, especially if you're about to meet somebody, let's say really for a coaching session that you will get a little bit like deeper into the emotion. It's just to acknowledge that, okay, sometimes I can say things that I didn't formulate in a way that is fine. So, like, let's just acknowledge that sometimes it could be awkward just a little bit, okay? But we're going to ask like yes questions and we can feel something, but the goal isn't to avoid the discomfort, it's just to acknowledge that and to persevere through it to be sure that we are building the relationship and that we can just understand each other and where we are positioned. So yes, in our MLM, this conversation sometimes may be awkward, but they are normal, okay? And don't remember also you're there to learn, but it's less uncomfortable if you did like the first step, the 5 questions to ask before, and that you establish guideline, that you acknowledge the discomfort, then both of the parties understand that you are building something together. Now, let's get into during the conversation. There's 4 actions that can help you maintain the discussion, build the relationship stronger, okay, and be sure that both parts are here and they can talk freely, okay, and feel safe, okay. So here's the first action. One, we've talked in like 2 podcasts ago, bring out multiple identities. Remember that no one is one dimensional. So consultant isn't just a consultant. Yes, this is the place that you meet them, but they could be like a mother, they could be a sister, they are our friends, they are a volunteer, they are like cooking enthusiastic. So they are more than just one thing. Okay. And it's really important to make them see that big picture and understand that you don't see them only as one way. Okay. So in the conversation, especially when you're meeting somebody, it could be about like, where are you from? Okay. What is important outside for you outside of that business, outside of for us Tupperware. Okay. So by bringing out like other identities, you reduce the identity threat that they can live and they can feel that they are a human, that they are a person instead of just wanting for you. So bring out multiple identities throughout the conversation. Action number 2, okay, put everyone on equal footing. Okay, so don't talk like about like your wealth, about like how you're good at this. Okay, this is not like a place that you should put yourself above. Okay, especially if you're the leader meeting the other person. Okay, this is a place where you look for a topic where everyone is an expert or everyone is a novice, and this is the importance of bringing stories where you can place yourself, okay, at equal footing with that other person. Okay, so in your MLM, you can say, "I don't know everything. I'm learning alongside you." Okay, or this is something new that you bring out for me. I'm really happy, like to know that. Okay, because I'm learning from you. So when you're able, like to put yourself on, especially on the novice level, this can totally change the dynamic. Action number 3, okay? Look for authentic similarities, okay? We look on what you can share, okay? Not superficial things, okay? Things that really matters. And let's say that to start for myself, okay? If I'm meeting somebody that love dogs, okay? It is something that we love or love animals. So it is something on which we can connect. Okay, or also like about your experience, like for Sylvain and I, like the cadet program, okay, was something that I didn't know at first of him, but that we can connect, okay, better on. So it is a great start. It is a place on which you can build trust, and that you also, if you can connect, where you can see the values, okay, and the principle that will help you, okay, deduce from that things that you share. Okay, so if you don't have necessarily similarities, okay, you can acknowledge the other person experience and say, "Oh, I hear you. I understand that it must have been difficult." And just by sharing, okay, how you see that person and how you heard and how you take their experience and understand it, could be a place of similarities if you don't have necessarily some to connect with.
Yeah, and not all just the cadet. So you love trombone, and I love trombone
Yeah,
too.
we're musicians.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a good another similarity. Okay, number four, manage the environment. So when you have a meeting, so let's say you are meeting at an official place. So let's say you are meeting in your office. It's not gonna be the same that, okay, you know what? I want you to feel safe. I want to feel safe. So we're going to another place. So a third place. So that way we can change the dynamic. So I remember I had to meet someone, so one of my director, and we had to have a hard conversation. So I decided, okay, let's grab a dinner. Okay, so we're gonna have a dinner some place, and it's gonna be the place that we can talk. So that way, I'm not in her home, she's not in my home, we're not at the office, so we are at a third place. And that was a great idea, because she feel that she can she not feel threatened. Okay, I'm not her boss. Okay, so she can express herself, and we establish that we are on the same level. So just a simple change of location can change the entire dynamic. So this is so important. Okay, oh, we have a trombone player here. Whoa, Olga. Okay, so GP, we're gonna summarize what we said today. Okay, before the conversation, there's five questions to ask yourself. Number one, what do I hope to accomplish? Number two, how will I start the conversation? Number three, I'm going to think about what is the obstacle I can face. When they arise, what is the plan? Okay, and number five, what are the benefits of that conversation? At the start of the conversation, there's three steps. So number one, establish the guideline. What's it's important. Okay, I want to you to express yourself. I want you to feel. I don't want to attack you. Okay. So make sure that they know the guidelines. Number two, bring out everyone's goal. Okay, my goal is I want to stay friend with you. My goal is I want to move forward that problem. Okay, and number three, acknowledge the discomfort. During the conversation, there's four action. Okay. Number one, bring out multiple identity. She's not just a consultant. She have multiple identity. Number two, put everyone on equal footing. Number three, look for authentic similarities. And number four, manage the environment. So this week, make sure that if you have difficult conversation, take 5 minutes before speaking. Ask yourself those five questions, and remember, who are we conversation are never perfect. Okay, but they are essential. It's by having them that we can create bounds, and it's by avoiding them that we can create walls. So thanks for listening, everyone, and I'm going to see you tomorrow. We are going to see you tomorrow. Bye for now.